I had a supernatural encounter with God over 3 years ago. He's been speaking to me about the future of our world, and I've received many words from him over the last 3 years. Recently, I began releasing them to you. God said a revival is coming as the world has never seen. He said the scales have been tipped too much, and evil is running rampant. He said, I will course correct. Things in the dark will now be in the light. He said exposure will occur at the highest levels in our government, schools, media, businesses, and even the church. Now we see this exposure beginning to unfold in our government with release of the Durham report and subsequent indictments, the federal investigation of Hunter Biden and his laptop, the exposure of critical race theory being taught in our schools, allegations of wrongdoing coming against a beloved international megachurch, exposure of unprecedented censorship and propaganda with mainstream media. I'm convinced that God's plan and his prophetic words to me are happening now. Most people are longing for God to intervene, but before we see the unprecedented revival he's promised, we must prepare our hearts and minds for the suffering that will fall on our land. God said calamity will surely come. Evil has a grip on those whom I love. As 10 plagues fell on Pharaoh, 10 will fall upon the earth before the back of the evil one is broken, before men of all nations will bow and know there is but one God, and I am he. He continued to say, the people I love are ignorant, obstinate. They fail to see, fail to believe what it will take to do nothing more than rebalance the scales in your land so your children and their children will grow up in a world that once again will call me Lord of all. All I do in love. Different plagues will fall on different lands, some in greater severity than others. No sooner than one crisis ends than the next begins. We've already seen at least one plague with COVID-19, and now we're seeing a famine coming. Prepare for the season of calamity and scarcity. Prepare your hearts, your mind, your family members. Get right with God. Most importantly, get on your knees and pray for our nation, the souls of mankind. On the other side of this dark season, we will see a revival of the people and the world. God said, eyes will be opened, veils will be lifted, light will bring clarity in the darkness. My love for all people will be made known.